Good morning. This is your 8:15 daily operations weather briefing, starting off with cloudy and quite windy conditions this morning. We are currently in a wind advisory and we're seeing some peak gusts up around and just below 40 miles per hour, and expecting windy conditions to prevail as we move through the day today, as we've transitioned into a few days of some unsettled weather conditions that we'll see remain as we move through the next 2 to 3 days, with mainly windy conditions continuing on and off through the next rest of the week, and then we'll see some precip chances as well starting today. Generally some light precip chances, and then we'll see a better chance of more widespread heavier rain as we get into the overnight Wednesday into the early part of Thursday. Take a look at the current surface analysis. That area of low pressure, as expected, sitting just off the southeast coast. We're going to see that tracking east-northeastward. And we can see the rain shield to the north of that, just south of the area. We'll take a look at that on the satellite radar here momentarily, but we're going to see that continue tracking away from the area, but still keeping that rain just in the vicinity, so could see some rain showers, particularly as we get through the afternoon hours today, but generally expecting that to be on the lighter side. And with that low pressure and that high pressure to the north, we're seeing that tight pressure gradient over the local area, and that's influencing those winds, bringing those windy conditions through the area today. We'll see another area of low pressure developing off to the west and tracking eastward closer to the region, and that's going to keep conditions on the breezy side, as well as bring that better chance of more widespread rain as we get into the middle and later portion of the week. Current conditions this morning, seeing a broken deck at 3,700 feet, overcast at 9,000 feet. Winds out of northeast, 23 knots sustained, gusting up to 33 knots. Temperature 56 degrees, and our relative humidity is at 66%. So we take a look at the current visible satellite as well as the composite radar here. We can see some light reflectivity around and just south of the area. Not seeing a lot of this make it to the surface, at least locally here, but nonetheless going to see a chance for some light rain as this reflectivity continues to linger in the area, and we'll continue to see some cloudy conditions through the area today as well. As we take a look at the high resolution model, what we can expect as we move through the next couple of days, as mentioned, we'll continue to see this light reflectivity lingering around the area. Better chance of seeing some light rain as we get into the afternoon, as that rain shield inches slightly northward as that low continues to track east-northeastward. And we'll see again, that light rain chance continue and then drop down slightly as we move through the overnight time frame. But as we move through the day, main story is going to be those really strong winds continuing through the day and into the first part of the evening. And we will start to see some relaxing of those winds as we move through the early morning hours of Wednesday, with some decreasing light rain chances, but still hanging on to just a slight chance as we move through that time frame as well. For Wednesday, we'll stay slightly breezy to start the day. Not expecting quite what we're seeing today, and possibly staying below wind advisory criteria for the first part of the day, with just some low-end chances of light precip, as you can see the model indicating some reflectivity here. I do expect those winds to begin increasing once again as we move later into the later portion of the day, towards the afternoon, and more so towards the evening, as well as that next area of low pressure starts to move into the area. And this one we'll start to see some increasing chances of rain late in the time period there, and those rain showers becoming likely as that next system moves through during the overnight time frame, Wednesday night into the first part of Thursday. As you can see here, model indicating some more pockets of heavier rain showers with this activity, and it's going to bring a slight chance of maybe even seeing some embedded thunderstorms with some of this activity, as it will be a bit more widespread and stronger in nature, with some stronger rainfall moving through the area. So moving to the day on Thursday, we'll see some lingering showers and possibly even a slight chance of a thunderstorm for the first part of the day on Thursday, but then that system starts to track out of the area, and we'll see things drying out and those clouds breaking as we get later in the day on Thursday. So the 24-hour weather risk chart for today, we're seeing red conditions for our winds that are above 25 knots. Again, we are in a wind advisory. We'll likely see that through the first part of the evening, this evening at least. We'll see those winds peaking today out of the northeast, sustained around 20 to 25 knots, with our peak gust up to 38 knots or 40 to 45 miles per hour. We'll see our high temperature right around 59 degrees, and we'll keep a chance of precip through the next 24 hours with the best chance indicated by this orange risk here between the 12 and 20 local time frame. Going into the evening, as mentioned, we'll slack off the winds slightly with those peak gusts dropping down to around 23 to 24 knots. And we'll see our low temperature bottoming out around 51 degrees. With the continued onshore flow, we're seeing those tides 1 to 2 feet above normal, and we'll likely see that continue for the next couple of days with that onshore flow. Wednesday, looking at cloudy and breezy conditions through the day, as mentioned. Not quite as breezy earlier in the day, but those winds on the increase as we get later in the day. So continue with red risk for winds that are about 25 knots, and an orange risk for precip, as I mentioned, slighter chance of precip during the first half of the day and increasing chances later in the day, and a slight chance of a thunderstorm late, more so towards the evening time frame with some reduced visibilities there. High expected around 62 degrees. Wednesday night, we'll see those rain showers becoming likely and more widespread, so red risk for precip, continuing with a yellow risk for the chance of an embedded thunderstorm with some of those heavier showers, and we'll see breezy to windy conditions at times. So continuing with those elevated wind risk there, and that continues into at least the first part of Thursday, along with that risk for that rain shower and thunderstorm activity. So similar risk continue into the first part of Thursday, and as we get later in the day, we'll see that rain coming to an end and those clouds starting to break mainly towards the late afternoon, first part of the evening. And we'll see a milder day as we'll see some return to southerly winds briefly for a day during the day on Thursday, with that high expected around 68 degrees. That's going to wrap up the 8:15 daily operations weather briefing. We'll be back again at 10 a.m. to take a look at the extended forecast. Enjoy your morning.